There's been some rather bizarre alterations made to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in some regions. One edit I can't even find any mentions of on the internet currently.
Phelous reviews Ninja Turtles. Phelous reviews Ninja Turtles. Phelous reviews Ninja Turtles. Watch once, let's say, or just don't.
As Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters are two of my favorite properties, I'm sure it's not a big shock that one of my favorite movies is the original 1990 TMNT film. The first Ninja Turtles movie pretty much had a perfect tonal balance of comedic moments and then being dark and more serious when that felt appropriate. I still wish Shredder maybe had some more actually trained goons that weren't recruited teenagers in Tatsu, but this movie still ranks up as one of the more serious adaptations of the property. But what if we just add a bunch of cartoon sound effects to make the fights extra goofy?
Schnauze halten.
Yep, in Germany, they decided to make the movie into pretty much a complete farce with their dub by constantly pelting the audience with silly sound effects.
Das ist alles gelogen!
Glaubst du?
The producers of the next mutation must have watched the German version and thought, that's a brilliant idea!
Whoa!
The German version also removed mentions of ninja and just called the movie Turtles der Film. This makes sense as they were one of the regions that took ninja out of their version of the 87 series.
Jeder kennt die Hero Turtles, super starke Hero Turtles.
And when the title screen actually comes up in the movie, it was just Turtles with a yellow stroke around the font. This yellow stroke version of the font oddly seems to keep coming up on modified versions of the movie. They also used the UK edit of the film, which tried to remove Michelangelo's nunchucks as much as it could. If you know much about the 87 UK version of Ninja Turtles, you know they censored the hell out of it, renaming the series Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
You'll notice that the new title of the show pops in right at the moment to mostly cover up Mikey's nunchucks. And other random footage from the show has been thrown in over parts of the intro where his weapons would normally be seen. The first season miniseries of Ninja Turtles was edited down to a 50-minute mini-movie called How It All Began. This movie kinda sloppily uses footage from the third season clip show Blast from the Past, where Splinter has amnesia and Leo is explaining his origin to him. But it's contextless why this is happening and how it all began, as it just starts with Leo turtle-splaining to a woozy Splinter.
Your name is Splinter, but your real name is Hamato Yoshi.
And of course, any mention of ninja has been edited out.
There was a ninja clan known as the Foot. There was a clan known as the Foot.
The clip show framing device of explaining to Splinter ends about 10 minutes in though, and then we're just awkwardly thrown into cut-down versions of some Season 2 episodes.
Of course.
I tell you, Krang, our defeat was an accident.
The main point of this edit, of course, though, is to get away from using the word ninja and seeing too much of Michelangelo's nunchucks.
A group called the Crooked Ninja Turtle Gang has been committing robberies all over the city. A group called the Crooked Turtle Gang has been committing robberies all over the city.
And of course, it was because of the controversy in the UK with the nunchaku that Michelangelo started using his nunchucks less and less, and then by Season 5 they were phased out and his primary weapon became a grappling hook. But the UK version, while still trying to remove the nunchucks as much as they could, decided at least to leave the title alone. So the movie never got all Hero Turtles'd up in the UK. I've even got a European special edition vinyl soundtrack for the film, which notes that it's got music from the film featuring your Hero Turtles. Yeah, the movie is Ninja Turtles and the show is Hero Turtles. Kinda weird. What's also weird is the ways they tried to cover up the nunchucks in the movie. The scene of Michelangelo ordering pizza at the beginning while twirling his nunchucks around features different takes. with the bottom left of the screen being darkened to hide the weapon.
Want a large, thick crust with double cheese, ham, pepperoni, and I mean no anchovies.
Michelangelo!
That'll do, and the clock's ticking, dude.
This edit also removes Splinter's extreme book abuse. The fight with the foot in April's apartment has also been changed quite a bit, with a lot of different footage used. Obviously, the fellow checker scene from the fight is cut out, but we get some stuff like April pulling the rug out from some foot.
You're a natural, sis.
Also, Mikey's Wheel of Fortune attack is extended, but we don't get to see Donatello spin him because you can see his nunchucks too well in that shot, so he just seems to start spinning out of nowhere. I do like, though, that there's more of this one foot soldier watching this spin attack and getting annoyed. You can even notice a sensor blur they did of the one evil weapon while Michelangelo is on his back right before the spin attack. So getting some new and alternate shots is pretty neat, but I think my favorite edit is the silliness that is the cut down Splinter and Shredder encounter. As you probably guessed, this scene was an issue since it featured Splinter flinging Shredder over the side of the building and holding him there with Michelangelo's nunchucks, so what did they do in the edit? Yep, Shredder just charges and Splinter sidesteps, which apparently causes stupid old Shredder to just fall right off the building. This is kind of funny now on the German DVD, as this features the movie uncut, but the cut scenes weren't dubbed back in the day, so suddenly they just start speaking English during these parts.
Jetzt werde ich zu Ende führen, was ich mit deinem Ohr begonnen habe.
Death comes for us all, Urokusaki.
But one of the strangest versions of this movie I found is the Japanese one, which did rename it to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. At least as far as their English version of the title goes.
Major League Butt Kicking is back in town. Oh yeah!
This pretty much makes no sense to me that it happened. I've tried to dig into this, but I really can't find any information why this movie is renamed Hero Turtles in Japan. I'm guessing this is somehow related to what the UK did to the 87 show, but I don't know why, of all regions, Japan would censor the word ninja. And this goes further than the title. Lines from the movie have been redubbed to remove any mentions of ninja or ninjutsu.
Your ninja skills are reaching their peak. Your combat skills are reaching their peak.
There are actually quite a few line redubs in this version of the movie, all of which confuse me even more. Oh, and you want to talk confusing? Apparently Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles the movie was released by New Life Cinema. Not New Line Cinema, New Life. I'm guessing this was either a typo or some kind of mistranslation that they just kept using, as it's on both the VHS cover and this movie program. And I did try to see if there ever really was a New Life Cinema, but again I came up with nothing, which is what makes me believe this was just a mistake. Now, while this movie program names it Hero Turtles all throughout it, I do have a mini poster for the film where they simply called it Mutant Turtles. Now, the title in Japanese does translate to Mutant Turtles on both versions here, but it's interesting that it was changed to Hero Turtles at some point for the English title. Now, there were actually two different Japanese dubs of the 1990 TMNT film, one that was used theatrically and on home video by Toa Video, and then a different dub aired on Fuji TV. It might have made more sense if the slight name change was for the two different dubs, but both titles here are for the Toa Video version. But of course, Toa Video didn't just release the movie dubbed in Japanese, they were also responsible for this weird English version with Japanese subtitles, but modified in strange ways. And while we're on about different versions of Ninja Turtles in Japan, I suppose I should also mention that there were 3 different dubs for the 87 show in Japan. None of them actually covered the entire series, and all of them ended at different points. There was the NHK2 Satellite Network dub, the TV Tokyo dub, and the Toa Video dub, which was the one released on home video. I managed to find examples of a couple of them.
Pizza time!
ピーマンとアイスクリームのとこ誰が取った？
俺ジュリービーンズとマッシュルームだもんね。
俺にはアンチョビとピーナッツバターのとこくれよ。
見てるだけで気分悪くなりそう。
よく生の魚なんて食えるね。
ピザタイムピーマンとアイスクリームのとこ誰取った？俺ジェリービーンズとマッシュルームだもんね。俺にはアンチョビとピーナッツバターのとこくれよ。
見ただけで気分悪くなりそう。
よく生の魚なんて食えるね。
I can only imagine it was kind of annoying to watch this show on TV, then decide to buy or rent it and find the voices to sound all wrong. Guess that'd be kind of like the 87 Turtles and Turtles Forever, or any of the Wrong Raph or Donnie episodes of 87.
You've got to be kidding! It comes equipped with dozens of options.
That's the trouble with breakfast. Always the same old thing.
Now, while one version of the Japanese Turtle show was actually called Ninja Turtles, the other two were named Mutant Turtles. However, they didn't shy away from the word ninja in their dubs.
それにこのロープ、これは忍者、メイドインジャパンですよ。
忍者。
これは忍者。メイドインジャパンなのだよ。
忍者。
こうして彼らはミュータントティーンエイジ忍者タートルになったのだ。
ティーンエイジミュータント忍者タートルズになったのだ。
Which again makes it extra weird that we have this censored Hero Turtles version of the movie. I also have a Hong Kong DVD version of the TMNT film, and while it's still named Ninja Turtles, it has a photo gallery bonus feature which is scanned in lobby cards, which also named it Hero Turtles. I'm not sure which region these cards originally came from, but it's also notable that this is one of the few times I've seen Hero Turtles in the movie-specific font instead of the 87 style logo, which was also used for the film. Wow, slight differences! Bossa Nova! Or pointless to bring up, it's up to you, I guess. Both of the Towa releases begin with a title card of the Japanese Mutant Turtle title, with the colors kind of being reversed on the dub version.
Okay!
And while edits to take out any use of ninja have been made on the English subtitled version, they still refer to ninjutsu on the Japanese dub.
しかし一番肝心なレッスンが一つ残っておる。忍術を習得したのです。
But both Toa video versions use the Hero Turtles title at the beginning. So in these redubbed lines, ninja is pretty much always replaced with combat.
But you must never stop practicing the art of ninja. But you must never stop practicing the art of combat and learning the secret art of ninja and learning the secret art of combat.
And in other places, they swapped out ninja for warrior.
You have learned the final and greatest truth of the ninja. You have learned the final and greatest truth of the warrior.
Ninja vanish! Warriors vanish!
And even though the word ninja is being edited out in this version, the scenes with Michelangelo's nunchucks are intact. Where it's the same company that released the sub and dub, the best theory I can come up with is the English subbed version was geared more towards an audience that might appreciate this edit. They clearly only got a few characters' lines actually redubbed for this edit, and some lines have just had bits like ninja cut off them.
Come on! Don't just ninja kick the damn rabbit! Come on! Don't just kick the damn rabbit!
Some of these edits leave the mouse moving way after the line is done.
You guys must be studying the abridged book of ninja fighting. You guys must be studying the abridged book of fighting.
And if you think they forgot it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles during the Turtle Power song by Partners in Crime during the credits, you'd be wrong. They hero turtled that up too. Modifications like this pretty much seem like what the movie would have been like if they had decided to release it as Hero Turtles in the UK. But the alterations on this Japanese version go beyond just removing ninja. This gets even stranger, especially for a Japanese release, as they have removed every mention of Japan from the movie.
Many years ago, I lived in Japan. Many years ago, I lived in Korea.
Great, Splinter's gone senile.
Many years ago, I lived in Never Never Land.
So while it seems they actually got Kevin Clash to redub some lines for Splinter, they clearly did not get Judith Hoag herself for any of the April line changes.
I've been speaking with a lot of Japanese Americans in the past few days. I've been speaking with a lot of Asian Americans in the past few days who say that our recent crime wave is reminiscent of a secret band of ninja thieves who once operated in Japan. Who say that our recent crime wave is reminiscent of a secret band of silent thieves who once operated in Korea. After everything I've been hearing out of Little Tokyo, Stearns is going to have some answering to do this afternoon.
Hey, look.
After everything I've been hearing out of Little Korea, Stearns is going to have some answering to do this afternoon.
Hey, look.
Little Korea, huh? I guess she means Koreatown in New York, and sometimes Koreatowns are nicknamed Little Korea. The only other lines that sound like they may have been redubbed by the original actor are Chief Stearns's, but it could have been someone who just sounded close to Raymond Serra.
You expect me to waste precious manpower because a few immigrants are reminded of something that supposedly happened years ago in Japan?
You expect me to waste precious manpower because a few immigrants are reminded of something that supposedly happened years ago in our homeland?
Something that happened years ago in our homeland is just such an awkward sounding line, especially with it reminding immigrants of something from the homeland's past. Chief Stearns' most iconic line isn't changed, but I did notice that this is totally not the same delivery of that line.
Are you trying to tell me how to do my job?
Are you trying to tell me how to do my job?
That's always a line I remembered from him, so it kind of threw me when he didn't get quite as screechy at the end.
For Yoshi was one of Japan's finest shadow warriors. For he was one of Korea's finest shadow warriors.
Are we really sure we want to switch it to Korea? I mean, remember what happened last time we had Korean TMNT? They didn't leave it at just swapping out every mention of Japan either. Things that were from Japan were altered too. Even Sony payments was changed into stereo payments.
We've been waiting for you, Miss O'Neill.
What? Am I behind on my Sony payments again?
We've been waiting for you, Miss O'Neill.
What? Am I behind my stereo payments again?
Tatsu's name and Doji were just cut off the lines that contained them.
Yes, Master Tatsu. Yes, Master.
Master Tatsu, stop! Please! Master, stop! Please! Please, stop!
Earn the right to wear the dragon, Doji. Earn the right to wear the dragon.
Also, katana was changed to just sword.
And took one swipe with his katana, slicing my ear. And took one swipe with his sword, slicing my ear.
And what of Hamato Yoshi and Oroko Saki? Well, those names were too Japanese sounding, so they've been changed completely to Hiyomo Yang and Hyong Q.
My Master Yoshi's first rule was... My Master Kiyamo Yang's first rule was... I was a pet of my Master Yoshi. I was a pet of my Master Kiyomo Yang. A pet of my Master Yoshi. And learning the mysterious art of ninjutsu. A pet of my Master Kiyomo Yang. And learning his mysterious art of combat. His only rival was a man named Uroku Saki. His only rival was a man named Hyang Q. But Saki vowed vengeance. Q vowed vengeance.
In the Japanese dub of the movie, these names were altered as well, but it was the same alterations made to them that were made in the dub of the 87 series and were not made to sound more Korean. So Hamato Yoshi was Takashi Yoshihama and Oroko Saki was altered to Oroko Sawaki.
達人吉浜武史のペットでした。師匠には沢木おろくという宿命のライバルがいる。
This was done to make the name sound better in Japan. Also, I guess Saki as a name was more feminine sounding than Sawaki. They were lucky as far as this edit goes, as usually Splinter saying these names. There was one instance of Danny asking about Oroko Saki, which was covered with a kind of sloppy edit.
Whatever happened to this Oroko Saki? Whatever happened to him?
The other Japanese name they had to take out was Tang Shin, the woman Hamato Yoshi and Oroko Saki fought over.
But none more fiercely than for the love of a woman, Tang Shin. But none more fiercely than for the love of a woman, Taiying.
And quite interestingly, this marks the one changed shot I noticed. Originally they were wearing kimonos, and I guess that was too Japanese looking for this anti-Japanese release in Japan. I don't know. I guess they just didn't want their culture in this one particular version of the movie? This new shot has them wear, I guess, more Korean-looking clothing, and the not Yoshi Kiyomo Yang guy makes sure to not show his face to the camera. This would have been a fairly easy insert for them, though, since this flashback takes place in a black void. Though you'll notice that Splinter's cage was present in the original shot, and it's nowhere to be seen in the new shot. The Japanese dub version does also include this alternate shot, but I'm guessing that's because the same print of the movie was used for both versions.
I leapt to Saki's face. I leapt to Q's face. Yes, Uroku Saki. I know who you are. Yes, young Q. I know who you are. We met many years ago in the home of my master, Homato Yoshi. We met many years ago in the home of my master, Kiyomo Yang. Death comes for us all, Uroku Saki. Death comes for us all, Yang Q.
This is just so weird it exists, and it's extra weird that I can't find any mentions of the Koreaed up anti-Japan Japanese version of the movie. This movie seems like it was mostly a rental back in the day, so maybe most people forgot about this happening once those old VHS rentals were off the shelves. It's just so weird that Japan made a version specifically to take out all the Japanese references they could. Like it maybe offended someone, or they thought it would just appeal to a certain crowd more without references to their homeland. Japan did not keep up the taking out the ninja and making them hero turtles in their versions of the movie after this. The second and third movie both had Ninja Turtles on them, and they really would have had a hard time taking out the Japanese references in the third one. But as for why they did it in the first one, I don't know.
That's it! I have heard enough! You don't know anything!
Well, if it isn't Hyung Q.
What? How dare you call me that?
What do you expect? Were you not listening at all?
I kind of tuned out listening to you flub your lines and you retakes.
Oh, Shredder, you're so meta.
Yes, I know I'm metal, but know this. I am also your father.
What? You expect me to believe that I'm originally from a homeland?
That's right, we are from
Little Korea.
This is getting silly. Just end the video.
Are you trying to tell me how to do my job?
I don't like this movie, doesn't too friendly. This bootleg is so fake, that toy is gonna break. Phelous, don't let me down, you need to be around. Grab that chocolate pizza, I live a life because I want. Phelous, so Phelous, bring on more comedy. Phelous, so Phelous, an animation movie. Phelous, so Phelous, what really is so fun? Phelous, so Phelous, what's your opinion about?
Phelous, just so you know, I am from Dimension Korea. Krang, you promised to get help about your constant lying.